Good morning, everybody. Merry Christmas Eve. Sam here, Not People's TV, here with the latest news as always, and it's going to be an interesting show here today. Of course, the news breaking last night from David Ornstein that Semenyo has chosen City. It's not too much of a surprise. Is it a disappointment? Yes. Can we now move on to signing a midfielder? Please. I'll run through the news. We'll have a conversation. We'll also then speak about midfielders. We'll speak about Bruno's injury. We're going to speak about the new youth recruitment that we've got from Newcastle en route. We'll speak a little bit about Christian Orozco. It's the Christmas Eve quiz. Prize today is going to be a kit. That's a bit of fun. It's going to be the 18th quiz so far. I think it is. Hopefully, you're in good spirits. Who's doing what today? You're going out for a couple of drinks. You're watching Home Alone 1 and 2 back to back. You're watching a bit of Die Hard. I don't know. Let me know your Christmas Eve plans. All right. And I'll say hello to everybody. Before I do, I've got to say Santa's arrived in the community. And his name is JC. J Claus? Maybe not. Dude, you just come in here and just dropped 100 gifted memberships. Now that is the Christmas spirit. Beyond belief. You've been incredibly generous to this community, dude. Thank you so much for being part of it. And I hope to see you part of it for the whole of 2026, as with every single one of you. I dropped in 20 memberships as well. I feel a bit inferior. Getting outdone in my own house. Good morning to everybody. Josh, to JC, to Ant, to Carl. All the mods are here in force. Steph, you're there as well. And Maddie, good morning to both of you. And to some members as well. Let's say hello to Stevie Power. We've got Mr. Men. We've got Jonas. We've got John. We've got Shane Greenan. Good morning to all of you. You're asking how to enter the quiz. The quiz, if you look at the chat, there's a comment pinned to the top of the chat. It's in a little white box. In there is the link to the quiz. And the quiz will be active on that link later in the show. Josh, I'm going to put you in a little 24-hour calling off period if you tell me that Die Hard is not a Christmas film. Gremlins is a Christmas film, all right? And again, I'm arguing with people about that one. If Gremlins is a Christmas film, bloody Die Hard is, all right? Haven't actually watched any... What? I watched the Polar Express yesterday, day before? I think it was day before. It's the only Christmas film I've watched so far this year, so I've got a lot of watching to go on, all right? I've got to do back-to-back Home Alone today? I don't quite know. Back to the Future? Yeah, I'm not really sure that's a Christmas film, but it is a great film. Yusuf. The Christmas spirit, man. I wish United were as giving as this community is. Yusuf has come in here and dropped 20 gifted memberships as well. You're a ledge, man. I've really enjoyed having the Christmas. So someone's saying it's a great backdrop. Like, I've enjoyed the setup of the Christmas studio. I think it's been very vibey this season. I like watching United. Should we get into it? Right. The headline from today's show, of course, is going to be Semenyo. Glyn, I don't know why you're sitting there going, you still think we have a chance at Semenyo? Yeah, no. Game over, move on, all right? It wasn't a outlandish opinion. This was me yesterday afternoon. I just felt that Semenyo to City was more likely. I did my video yesterday, and, well, to be fair, I only spoke about City and United at that point. I was weighing up, like we did in the live show, I was weighing up what are the reasons he would choose City and what are the reasons he would choose United. And then Chelsea came in and then left. And then Liverpool were never really in for him. And ultimately, it was going to be down, realistically, to kind of one thing. Was Semenyo prepared to wait at least 12, well, at the very least, 12 months to come to Manchester United in order to be able to compete for the top trophies? At least 12 months, and let's be honest, we're probably underplaying that. The answer is no. He wants to compete right now, and he's chosen City. It's I mean, what they signed? I don't even know who City have got in their squad now. I don't know. City are going to surely have to sell in January, I'm guessing so. But it's just like the peak City way. Marmoush comes in. He does all right. But kind of got into the background now a little bit. Don't worry about it, lads. After we've signed that £70 million player, halfway through, let's just go and sign another one and then sell this one. That's kind of what they do, man. That's just what City have done and what they do. Mr. Menu saying the reason is money or Champions League. It's the ability to compete for the top trophies. It's not what Manchester United have right now. Okay? We've missed out on him. Like someone down there, 1 second here. Set my notifications off. I'm going to read some comments out. Okay? Gus, good morning to you. And Merry Christmas to you as well, my friend. Someone down there getting a bit frustrated. Where was that comment? We've missed out on so many already. Kenda, Olise, Semenyo, several strikers. The list goes on. I thought the directors were best in class. This is the Glazers' ownership still. Right, well, let's have a look at that comment. Giovanni Kenda. Do you know why we missed out on Giovanni Kenda? Because Chelsea came out of nowhere, offered more than we would, offered him back to Sporting for another season on loan. It was just a ridiculous offer. Like, you couldn't compete with that. Elise, yeah, I think you can get involved in that one. I would have loved to have signed Elise. But we weren't capable of competing at the top. Like, you're going down there talking about the directors being best in class. Like, mate, I hate to be the bearer of bad news here this morning, but Manchester United are a mid-table club currently in terms of what we can offer the top elite level players in terms of competition, what we can actually compete for. Manchester United are a mid-table club. Now, I don't know whether I'm bringing some new news to any of you here. I don't think I am. The truth is, and this is something I really, really, truly believe in. Once Manchester United are back competing for the top trophies, and I don't know when that's going to be, but it will happen. Mate, we already are still. It's kind of something that you have to get your head around sometimes. We still are the top destination for certain players who, like, grew up watching United, like, have got the prestige, like, they really, really want to be part of the, like, Cunha and Mbumo, and they chose United over everybody else. But for certain players, they want trophies now. They want to be able to compete now, right? Graham is saying mid-table club is harsh, and I don't think it is. I'm not going over the top here. A mid-table club, football club, as far as I'm concerned, big swings, up, down, up, down. Great 1 week, shit the next week. Lose 2 in a row, win 3 in a row. Up, down, roller coaster. That's what a mid-table club is. That's why they are mid-table. Because they can't hold that consistency for long enough. They're either consistently not crap enough to be down in the relegation zone or consistently not good enough to be competing at the very top. So they lurk in the middle. That's what Manchester United are right now. In terms of results, we are a mid-table club. But Semenyo, he's chosen City. Do I think we've missed out on him? Well, I think the fact that you saw pretty much everyone going after him, it shows you the quality of the player he is. I'm not going to sit here and pretend that I wouldn't have liked to sign him. I'm also not going to sit here and pretend that it was anywhere near our priority, because it wasn't. Someone down there, who's that? Steve saying, this is the harshest I've seen, Sam. Am I being harsh? Not really. Like, Semenyo wasn't going to choose United because we're competing for the top trophies right now. Because we're not. Like, we're just not. If we get the right players in and we're going to be on that path, yeah, but we're not doing it right now. We are a mid-table club. Capable of going and doing it against Newcastle and then probably drawing 1-1 home against Wolves. It's a mid-table club. I don't want to say it, but it's true. I mean, obviously, I hope it completely flops for Semenyo at City. I mean, Guardiola might not even be there. And is he guaranteed minutes? I don't quite know. But we've missed out on him. Right? Somebody gifted 5 memberships down there. Let me say a big thank you to you as well, dude. Who was that? Robert, thank you very much, man. And to Mr. Men, you gifted one as well. Everyone's feeling very, very festive. It's almost like it's Christmas tomorrow, people. Mikey is saying he would choose us if he believed in the project. I don't think he wanted a project. right? That's the point. City right now aren't a project. They're a walk-in, compete, you might win a trophy this season club. Finite, those words never left my mouth, and they never would leave my mouth. I'm saying City are bigger than United. How on earth have you taken that as an interpretation? That's a weird one. Quite the opposite. City will never, ever... This is something that permanently will piss off... If you ever get the chance to piss off Guardiola, this is what you say to him. It's like, mate, it doesn't matter what you do at City. You will never be United. Ever. Ever. It doesn't matter what you win. It doesn't matter how you play. Why are there 2 people ringing the doorbell? Give me 30 seconds. Quite bad that I really genuinely need. The amount of times that doorbell was ringing. It's almost like it's Christmas tomorrow. You know, the one thing I found a little bit weird about a little bit weird? I don't know. Did you see this from Fabrizio yesterday when he was speaking about this was before Ornstein announced that he was going to City, but listen to this.
Manchester United pushing and ready even to change the system if they can convince Semenyo. Manchester City.
So he's saying there that United were willing to change the system if we did sign Semenyo. And you've also got David Ornstein over here, you can see there. United never planned to use him as a wing-back. You know what I would love to be true? I'd love it. Like, if you look back, probably I would say the game against Bournemouth. The way we played in that first half and the way that we set up as well, both of them. We kind of played with split strikers. Now, you will know I did a video a while ago where I was talking about tactical tweaks that I think could happen under Ruben Amorim. And I said the only one that I would like to see, which I don't think is an outrageous change, instead of having one number 9 and 2 number 10s, you flip that. You drop the number 9. You bring him into a midfield 3. You push the 2 number 10s forward, and they become split strikers. And that's it. That's kind of, it felt a little bit like how we played against Bournemouth. It was almost like a 4-4-2-ish. Not like a traditional 4-4-2 as you would expect. Or like 4-2-4 is a crazy formation. 4-2-4 is what happens when you're chasing a game and you've got to like lump people forward. That's not a sustainable formation across a full season. That's a in certain scenarios formation. But having split strikers, and maybe that's where Semenyo could have fit into it perfectly, rather than as a wing back. But we're not signing him. Move on. We're going to see down here. ASEC saying, weren't we going to change the system already because of the players that aren't available? Well, partly. You know, we've been having a conversation about 4-3-3. I wonder what we're going to see against Newcastle. I really, for the life of me, have not got an idea. Because we'll speak about Newcastle a little bit later, I suppose. Right? Jason, I'll have a 4-2-4 heavy metal. What's your name? Bloody Jurgen Klopp. A 4-2-4 is it's a last 15 minutes kitchen sink formation. What else are you saying down here in the chat? Glyn saying, the reason United's targets are in the press all the time is because the agents we speak to talk to the press. Well, agents talk to the press. It's just what agents do, right? Amir, how you doing, buddy? I turned 18 today, bought my tickets for my first ever game against Brighton in the FA Cup. Well, first of all, congratulations. Happy birthday to you. Secondly, commiserations. Birthday on Christmas Eve. Man, that must suck. Ish. I mean, you have a good 48 hours, but anyway, happy birthday to you. And I hope that United do the job against Brighton in the same way they did against Brighton in the league. You know, that's the last time that we won Old Trafford in the league. Was that the last time? Yeah, that's the last time we won at Old Trafford in the league. Someone down there, we're not going to change anything for anyone. Apart from the fact that against Aston Villa, we played in a completely different way that nobody expected. And I don't think Villa expected it either. Apart from the fact that the game before against Bournemouth, we changed. We had a very different, I wouldn't say a very different, but we had a noticeably different setup style, and it worked. Yes, sir. We're not going to change apart from the fact that in the last 2 games we have changed. Okie dokie. Anyway, Semenyo's not coming in. But if you want to take a positive out, I don't know whether I would phrase it as that, but can we now just talk about midfielders? No, the Semenyo conversation, I'm not going to say the Semenyo conversation was a distraction. It just wasn't expected. Had we have signed him, would have been great. But it wouldn't have been what we needed. And what we need is midfield. Now, my question to you this morning, right? How confident are you that United will sign a midfielder? Right? Just fire in your comments, your questions, and your thoughts around it. Because this is the... There are so many different, I suppose, directions that United could take this. I suppose that direction is just kind of the player that you would sign. We've been told multiple times that United's strategy is we only want players for the long term. I think it was Ruben Amorim who said that as well. We don't want to do any panic buying in the January transfer window. We've got a strategy and a plan, and we just want players signed for the long term. Right? So if I was to go back and look at this Semenyo situation, I think this was United looking at a market opportunity and maybe bringing forward a plan that they might have had for the summer, but bringing it to January. And you know the comparison I'm going to do because it always just pops into my head. I've forgotten his name. Luis Diaz, Spurs, and Liverpool. That winter window where Spurs were trying to sign him and Liverpool said, sod that, we were supposed to sign him in the summer. Boom, come in. Then they brought him in. Now, what do you think is going to happen with a midfielder? You know full well that we're not going to sign Elliot Anderson. Adam Wharton, I think, is out of that category as well, so we don't need to repeat those conversations. But like, how deep do United go in a midfield spend? I think that's the question I want to ask. Because what we showed with this Semenyo situation is we were willing to go and sign a 65 mil attacker. Now, I'm guessing that the first instalment probably would have been around 20 million. So as far as a cash flow goes, that's how much would be put down as a first payment. Now, we see what you're saying down here around midfielders, okay? Because this is the conversation that we all, I suppose, wanted to focus on in January. And I suppose we are going to now, right? We need to move the 65 mil to midfield. Gus is saying, why the long face? You said it yourself, you prefer spend on midfielder, and that is more likely to happen now. I wouldn't say it's a long face. I'm disappointed that we're not signing Semenyo. Why wouldn't I be? He's a top-class player. But I hope that United can now actually make some moves. And maybe exits are going to be important. Maybe Ugarte's exit. Maybe Xerxes' exit. I don't think Xerxes really happens until late in the window because of AFCON and because of injuries. I'm tired of Amorim not choosing player better than others because they are Portuguese. People going down that path again? Nah. I always found that one of the most exhausting conversations about favourites this and favourites that. Mate. Boring. But someone said this is up there with our best squad since Sir Alex. I mean, it probably is a pretty damn good squad. It's not exactly compared to some of the squads that we've seen. Yeah, it probably is decent. I mean, it is decent. Still big old holes in it, though. A loan signing seems likely. See, I'll go the opposite. Like people like Conor Gallagher's there, right? I just don't see United doing that. What, a loan signing with an obligation? Like a try before you buy? Come the summer, I just I just cannot see how Conor Gallagher would still be the right choice in the summer. I can understand if he would be a choice now, but I couldn't understand. I just can't see it. I can't see the vision around Conor Gallagher. Maybe I'm being unfair. Right? Someone sent a super chat. What was that? Oh, no. Didn't say anything. What are we saying down here? I would rather take Wharton and Anderson because they're proven. I mean, yeah, so would I. It's not going to happen, though. You see Wharton against Arsenal last night? Man, that penalty shootout between Arsenal and Crystal Palace is going to be PTSD. That Europa League final under Ole, man, with De Gea, Villarreal, what was it, 12-11 or 11-10? Sod knows what it was. I think it was 11-10 because De Gea missed. That was the sort of the moment for Ole, wasn't it? Had he won that Europa League final, what could have followed? We don't know. But what did follow? Well, we know. I mean, and I'm in your category here, right? It's just Gallagher's not the answer. Whatever the question is, Gallagher's not the answer. Baleba, we can argue all day long. We've already had plenty of arguments about whether he's the right midfielder or not. But if United had 65 mil that they were willing to spend on Semenyo, does that mean that Manchester... Do you think it's as simple as that? I mean, I don't probably... I think I know the answer to this one, but I'll ask you in the chat. Do you really think it's as simple as that? So Man United were willing to spend 65 mil on Semenyo. Well, that means that Man United will be willing to spend 65 mil on a midfielder in January. Obviously, it's going to come down to what the payment terms are, how much you pay up front, what the splits are, amortization, all of that. I understand. But is it that simple? Because if it is, well, you could sign whatever midfielder you really wanted apart from Elliot Anderson or Adam Wharton. Let's be honest. I don't think there'll be any other midfielder out of reach in terms of midfielders we're linked with. You could sign 2 midfielders for that if you really want to. Probably even sign 3. Well, 2. Peter, you want us to get a midfielder in January? Well, not the only one. Not the only one. Should be getting a midfielder end of, says Natasha. I've been saying we'll be spending 80 mil on a midfielder. Was Bruno the most expensive January signing for us? What was that? Was he 60? Was he 50? Was he like... Bloody hell, if I got this in a pub quiz. First question for the quiz today, which isn't a quiz. How much exactly did Manchester United sign Bruno Fernandes for? I'm going to guess like 52 mil. Man United sign Bruno Fernandes. How much was it? Right. Ready? Okay. Sign him in 2020. Take me back. 55 million euros, so 47 mil. But add-ons could increase the overall cost to 67. Man, they got some sweet add-ons on that. So it was 47 rising to 67. Is that the most that we spent? I think that's the most that we spent. Anyway. Let's see what you've got. Show me what you've got. 10 points of a reference. What I said. What would you describe the January window as? If United don't sign a midfielder, do you think it's like a... Would you go as far as a catastrophic failure? Or do you think like, well, United are sort of hedging their bets and... There's no way that you can go through this January window. I'm just trying to think. Like, without being like reactionary and over the top. I just can't see how United don't sign a midfielder in January. Given the squad depth that we've already got, which isn't much, you can add in Bruno and in Mainoo's injuries if you want to, but I don't particularly think that that's, I suppose in the short term, it's another reason. Mainoo, he's not happy. He's going to have to go out on loan or you're just going to kill his relationship with the club, I think. I just don't see how United don't sign a midfielder. Mo, you're saying it's sort of like borderline stupid if we don't. Mikey's saying it'd be a massive mistake. Look, United, I don't know what your strategy is going to be, but whoever it is, bring someone in. Look, and of course, look, we know that United might not sign somebody. And John, you're saying who, though? It's not happening. Like, it's not down to me to choose the exact strategy that Manchester United have. I don't know exactly what the finances are. I didn't think that we could afford to be in for Semenyo, and we were in for Semenyo. I didn't think that we were going to spend 200 mil on 3 attackers in the summer, and we spent 200 mil on 3 attackers in the summer. As much as we can infer and look at sources and people we trust and absorb the news, etc., I still can't accurately predict what Manchester United's strategy is going to be and exactly who they're going to go after. Carlos Baleba on paper probably sounds like too much, but I didn't expect us to go after Baleba in the summer when we tried to. So again, might be wrong on that one. The rest, Stiller, Gallagher, João Gomez, Ruben Neves, was it Kamara? Look, you could list off like 5 to 10 midfielders in the comments now that be like, oh, well, you know, they might improve the club. Doesn't mean that they'd be the right midfielder. And that's down to choosing. But get one done, lads. Ashley saying, no, look what we did this time last year. We bought no one in Jad. Yeah, that was actually the right decision. It was Matthias Tell. Were we linked to any other attackers? I can't remember. But it was Matthias Tell who was the top choice. But that would have been United signing somebody on a short-term deal. The short-term benefits of signing Matthias Tell easily outweighed the long-term benefits. And that type of signing I don't think United will do, which is exactly why I'm so not on board with Conor Gallagher. So I think he falls exactly in that category. Short-term, probably does a good job. Long-term, not the answer. Yeah, Dorgy. We got Dorgy last Jan. Was that 30 mil euros, I think it was, all in? Hey, look, let's find out. Right. In terms of the current squad, right? Did we get Heaven? Was it Heaven last January? Mate, Heaven was a hell of a signing. To be fair, credit to Jason Wilcox for that one. Any other players right on the edge of breaking into first teams in other Premier League clubs that aren't going to go through and then can come to United and, hey, look. Yes, please. Anyway, Bruno Fernandes. Reports are saying that United are hopeful that he will be fit in time for the Manchester derby. And if that is the case, well, good, he's back for the derby. But that means he's going to be missing these games. 5 games, ladies and gents, that we might be without Bruno Fernandes for. Man, Cobby better hope that calf injury is only a little 1 or 2 weeker. I suppose even if it's a 2-weeker, you're going to miss Newcastle and Wolves and Leeds. Was that a 4th of Jan? I think it is. Mate, that Leeds away game is going to be sticky. I've not been looking forward to it for a good while now. I'm glad it's a 12:30 kickoff. That under the floodlights. Ha! But it looks like we're going to be without Bruno for 5 games, and we were without Bruno for the majority of the Villa games. Call it 6 games. I didn't need Manchester United to be without Bruno Fernandes to see the discourse that I'm going to see and have to bloody watch over these next few weeks. And people just realising, oh my God, Bruno Fernandes is actually a great player. Huh. I needed him to be out of the team for me to realise. Like Linton saying it's not a bad run of games for Bruno to miss. I can't look at fixture lists and think, oh, that's a good run of games for United because of what's just happened, all right? Going into Everton, and we've got Wolves as well. Oh, we've got West Ham. That's right. Nah, sod that. Loss, draw, win. I can't look at any fixture list and think, oh, that's a favourable 5 games for United. Oh, that's a tough 5 games coming up. It's not how I can look at it. But ideally, he's back for that City game, because without Bruno in that City game, that's going to be very sticky. Like, Sam, you've mentioned it again there. I know there's conspiracy theorists that are all like left, right, and centre, but man, I feel for Cobby. All season long, you're waiting and waiting and waiting for an opportunity that will seemingly never come because Bruno's basically Terminator. And then he gets his injury in the first game after you pull up in training with a calf injury. Oh yeah, don't add to the fact that we're missing Mbeumo and Ahmad as well. Quite literally Man United's best 3 players. Show me any team in the Premier League and you take their best 3 players out of them. Show me how they play. Worse. I hope, wouldn't it be class? It's what you can dream of, I suppose. Wouldn't it be class if, whether it's Jack Fletcher, whether it was Shea Lacey, like just somebody from the academy over these next 4-5 games or so, just announces themselves, just takes the opportunity, takes the platform and grabs it. I mean, you can tell with Shea Lacey's little debut against Villa that he's bang up for it. The fact that, like, was it the run from Cunha, little dink he did over I don't know who it was running towards him, dinked it over the Villa defender, opened his body up straight away. Curled effort, obviously straight into the hands of Emi Martinez, but like the intention was immediate from Shea Lacey. It wasn't as if, pass it to someone else. It was sort of like, how can I get myself in a shooting position as soon as I possibly can and shoot? That's what I'm on the pitch for. Let me do it straight away. Fingers crossed we'll see him get some more minutes against Newcastle or Wolves, or who else are we playing? I just had the fixtures up there. Or Leeds, or Burnley, or Brighton. We'll see. Mate, it'd be lovely. That's what the academy does. I suppose it's a good segue here to speak about Christian Orozco. So I thought this was quite cool. So there's obviously Christian Orozco, the 17-year-old, the under-17s Colombian captain that we signed, a midfielder, not joining until July or June when he turns 18. One of the two. He came to Manchester recently to sort of, I suppose, introduce himself to everyone. Diego Leon did the same thing. I didn't actually realise this, but look. He actually got to train with the under-18s, got to train with the under-21s, settled in, met everybody. I didn't even know you were allowed to do that. I suppose of course you can actually, because United are allowed to have players on trial before they're 18, because obviously Brexit rules means that you can't register any of these players with Manchester United until they're 18. But I didn't realise he got to train with under-18s, I think that's cool. So he's definitely one to watch for next season. He's going to be currently in the same, I suppose, it kind of feels a little bit more advanced than Sekou Kone was when we signed him. But both of them were signed, if I'm correct, off the back of an under-17s World Cup. I think that's where United scouted Sekou Kone for Mali. I'm pretty sure that's where we scouted. Was it the same one? I mean, there must be, because it's both 18. I never thought of that. Anyway, is Semenyo available for Newcastle? I very much doubt he will be there. Albano saying we can see the rays of Lisandro Martinez in midfield. Look, man, I really enjoyed watching Martinez in midfield against Villa. I'm scared of the idea of watching Martinez in midfield against Bruno Guimaraes and Sandro Tonali. And the Newcastle team, who will be very different to how Villa played. There's going to be a way that we play. And maybe this is like... Maybe this is the way that United should be setting up at this moment in time. Like Liverpool, we had a strategy that really worked away at Anfield. Villa, we had a strategy. It was a setup specifically catered for exposing the gaps, spaces and weaknesses that Villa would have. And it worked. If you were to say, let's speak about Newcastle quickly, right? Let me just pull this up. Let's have a little chat. Obviously, the starting 11 video is going to go out. Maybe I'll put it out today. I was supposed to do it for tomorrow. We'll figure it out. But if you were to say the weaknesses of Newcastle, what would you say they are? So with Villa, I wouldn't say that we set up to expose their weaknesses because they were a team that won 9 on the spin. So they were pretty damn good. It felt like United set up against Villa to add an extra body into midfield to ensure that they didn't have the ability and space for that central progression. So you kind of forced Villa to play a little bit different. I mean, it worked for them because Rodgers was ridiculous. But we blocked the best part of their game and it allowed us to control it a bit more. Yeah, I would say flooded the midfield. I suppose you can call it that if you want. We kind of just added an extra body. Right, let me see what you're saying. Gotso saying, what do you think Amrin will do with Yoro? He's struggling at the moment. Yoro's had an up and down season, man. He was very good at the start of it. I remember doing a video on him. Talking about his development, talking about how good he was playing at right centre-back. But he's just had a few moments this season. And yeah, I think Delo kind of got away a little bit lightly in terms of my criticism off the back of the Villa game because he really shouldn't have let that cross in for the second one. But then Yoro was also slow to react. Someone down here saying 18 months of transfer inactivity during the sale process is catching up with the squad. Injuries, age profile and wages. Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas to you too, dude. I wouldn't say transfer inactivity is catching up. United just have not invested in midfield in the same way that they have invested anywhere else. Not from a successful point of view. There's so much more that we need to do in midfield. We're saying down here. Martinez played in Casemiro's position. We'll be back against Newcastle, so he probably won't start there. I don't know what the starting 11 is going to be. I'll be honest. In terms of who's the vice captain of United? Bloody hell, imagine that as a question. Who is the vice captain? Is it De Ligt? Is it Maguire? I think Maguire might be one. Do we actually have a vice captain or is it like a selection? I don't even know really, if I'm being completely honest. But yeah. Is there a particular game plan that United could set up against Newcastle in a way that we did against Villa and it worked? Not quite sure. Don't think it's as obvious, I suppose. Yeah, Casemiro, Delo, Maguire. I'm not quite sure who is. It probably would be Delo, wouldn't it? Actually, no. Was it Delo because Delo wore the armband? I think when Bruno went off, but also Casemiro wasn't on the pitch, and Maguire wasn't on the pitch. I don't know. I'll be honest, I don't know. Apparently, Google says Delo. One of the two. Speaking about Newcastle, a little bit random this, but looks like United are going to be bringing in a new head of youth recruitment, Paul Midgley. Interesting name. Now, to explain what's gone on here, we had Luke Fedorenko, who was the head of youth recruitment for United, and was sort of leading over the last few years a big old restructure of how youth recruitment happened, regional youth recruitment and the heads of youth like scouting, etc., etc., etc. Remember, we brought in a new head of senior scouting, who's going to be working with Chris Vavell. So Luke Fedorenko's leaving. Paul Midgley's coming in from Newcastle. And it's a bit of a weird one, this, because, of course, our head of academy, Nick Cox, actually, no, he didn't go to Newcastle. He went to Everton. I was more thinking of Adam Lawrence. So Adam Lawrence was our under-18s coach, head coach, the one that won the treble. He went to Newcastle to become their under-21s coach. And now Newcastle's head of youth recruitment is going to be coming to Manchester United. Let's hope it's not another Dan Ashworth situation. Oh, let's be totally honest. Right. What's going on down here? What's going on? I think it's nearly time for the quiz, peeps. Nearly time for the quiz. The Christmas Eve quiz. Is it the biggest and best so far? Well, we'll find out. Quiz will start in a couple of minutes. Yeah, I really hope that appointment from Newcastle will be slightly better than Ashworth. But to end the show before the quiz, right? This is disappointing, but it felt luxurious. It wasn't a necessity to sign Semenyo. We know what our necessities are. They lie in midfield. We don't know how far United can go in terms of the targets we can acquire, in terms of whether or not we can get we know that we can't get exactly who we want, which is Elliot Anderson. We'll find out. And I'll be here with all the news as and when. Sam, is there a live stream on Friday? What day is Friday? Is that Boxing Day? I'll be honest, probably not. It's going to be nice to have a couple of mornings to be able to just chill with the family. And Susie. I'm looking forward to it. But for today's show, it's the quiz, people. And this is the 18th? I think the 18th version of this quiz. 18 giveaways we've done during all of December. So many posters have been collected and sent. We've sent out some sweaters from the merch shop. We've sent out plenty. I think the winner for today's quiz is going to win a kit. So we get a kit delivered for you. All right? So if you want to get involved, follow the link at the top of the chat. It's pinned. That's the link to the quiz. Click it. Get involved. 5 questions. Answer them as fast as you can. Whoever answers fastest gets most points. Whoever's top of the leaderboard after 5 wins the prize. Simple, right? And can I say one more time, JC, because you're still there, like, dude, thank you so much for being so generous, man. And to everybody else who makes this community what it is. It's been another really tough year. We've had highs and we've had plenty of lows. I'm still here. You're still here. We'll all still be here. Next year, can we just, be a little bit more consistent? Would be quite nice. Is it 19th today? 18th? I don't quite know. Akash, look, your poster arrived this morning. Congrats, dude. Susie is my fiance. I actually I said my partner the other day. I don't know why. I mean, technically it's correct. But anyway. Omar watching from Puerto Rico. That's cool, man. Shall we? Come on then. 119 of you waiting. Let's get the quiz on. Let's see who wins. Ready? First question. What colour shirt did United wear versus Villa last Sunday? White, red or black? Oh, no, we're not going to get... 100% will never exist. I've grown to accept it. I've grown to accept it. It was white. Yes, it was white. Right, who's top? Filippo. Montana. It's an Elmo. Josh, you're up there. Not quick enough, mate. Ribbit and Vroom and Rev. Right, question 2. No, you're not invited to the wedding. Question 2. Can you name United's current director of football? Omar Barada, Jason Wilcox, or Chris Favell? Come on, people, come on, people, come on, people. Jason Wilcox. Omar Barada, CEO. Chris Favell. What is he? Director of recruitment? I think he is. Anyway, Jason Wilcox. Rapid. You're top? No. Ibuka. You're top. Ibuka's top. Akash, you're second. Taser's third. Dr. Centipede. Not to be confused with The Human Centipede, which is not a film that you should watch. Seriously, don't. Number 3. Complete the missing word from United's club motto. Youth, courage. Failure, success, expectation. Alex, you are desperate for people to get 100% in a question. It's going to be desperate at this stage. Because it's never going to happen. Right? It's never going to happen. I've accepted it now. 5 of you got it wrong. It's not expectation. It's also not failure. So at least none of you did that. Youth, courage, failure. Right. Success. Who was successful in that one? And who was the fastest? Ibuka. Oh no, someone down there, 983. Turth. Not Girth. Ibuka's up top with a what? 21 point lead. Right. Question 4. Only 2 to go for the final quiz before Christmas. Which United player scored for the women's team versus Juventus last week? We already had this question? Toon, Park, or Rolfo? I think we had this question last week. Can't remember. I might get this wrong. Was it Park? I swear we had that question. Right. That's question 4 done, though. And now we're going into the final one, which means dramatic music. But who's top of the leaderboard? Let's have a quick peep. Right. Ibuka and Akash, I say it's probably a 2-horse race. Mikey might have a chance. But Ibuka's top with a 24-point lead. Don't bottle it. That's all I'm saying. Human Centipede, definitely not a Christmas film. Die Hard, definitely is a Christmas film. Right, you ready? 5th question. Could be tough. Let's see what it is. Name the last team United lost to at home in the league after being in the lead at half-time. Bloody hell. Ipswich, Arsenal, or Everton? Ipswich. I'm guessing that one. Because that was a long ass time ago. Was that 80s? 80s? It was 80s. That's why you listen to Sam. Sam never gets anything wrong. He does get quite a lot wrong, actually. But it's Ipswich. That was a hard one. Right. Are we going to have a little change at the top here? Oh, no. Is it Iguano? Akash. Oh, boom. You got a second one. You cheeky little devil. Can't have that. VAR on this. And VAR on that. Second winner. Can you have a look? Have a look at this. Unbelievable. Well done, Akash. Well done, Akash. You won it again. Key, you were 6th. I would say congratulations, but there were 5 people that were better than you. So, Ibuka claiming he misclicked. It's alright, mate. You don't have to lie. You don't have to lie. But look, right. Ladies and gents, let's wrap up this show. And let's wrap up the live shows for Christmas. I will not be here tomorrow morning. I'm not planning on being here Boxing Day, but you never know. I might wake up fresh and ready to do a show, and there might be some big news that I want to speak about. If I don't see you live, have a fantastic Christmas. Make sure you send me your photos. I don't know, like, hit me up on Twitter, fire it into Discord and tag me. Send me, like, the best photos of your Christmas dinner, of anything you're doing. All right? Or send me a video a photo of you watching the Newcastle preview, which is going to go out on Christmas Day. To everybody, much love. I hope you have a fantastic time with family and friends. And, yeah, I'll be here at lunchtime today. Will I do a video at lunchtime today? I might do something on Midfielders. But at the very least, there will be a video going out tomorrow on the Newcastle 11. All right? Much love.